some super awesome Hydra figures here. I've got myself a decent collection of Hydra characters being built here. I would say that with these particular 4 characters, I've pretty much got myself set up for a solid Hydra force or whatever, Hydra team, Hydra affiliation, Hydra group. I'll go into the other figures that I have already later in this video here, but we're gonna just get right into this instantly here. I've been holding on to these figures. You can see there's a bit of damage on some of these boxes here. I think this might have been from the cat or something, I don't know, but I've been holding on to these figures, keeping them on ice, so to speak, for some time now, and I think it's time that I crack these bad boys open. So who are we gonna start out with? I think let's see. We'll do Baron von Strucker first, since he's gonna be easy to pull out of these plasticless boxes. So we're gonna get this out of here. But yeah, Hydra. So for him, I've already taken the old tape off, so it's going to be a little bit easier, but we can admire the box for a second here. It comes with a Puff Adder Build-A-Figure piece, which I was really on the fence. I really kind of wanted to build this Puff Adder figure, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, there was a few figures here that I wasn't really looking to get. Like, he looks like a badass figure, but it's just, when it comes to going and building the Serpent Society, it's a big ask. It's going to be a big investment, and I mean, I could get a few here and there just to bolster out my Hydra ranks, but I don't know. At this point, I was like thinking, I'll just wait, see if maybe I can pick up the Build-A-Figure pieces separate here and there. I've already gotten myself Wonder Man and Baron, so I've got 2 pieces from him so far, and I figure I'll just kind of hold out. But he's a cool figure. I think he looks great, and I do like the build, and I just at this point, it's just I gotta pick and choose, and he's just one of those figures that fortunately at this point I just can't do at the moment, but maybe down the line, because he looks so cool, and I think he would be a nice fit with his Hydra figures here. But in any case, we got Baron Strucker here. He's definitely a staple. He was a big character at the beginning of Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, that cartoon that is so beloved by many Avengers fans. People consider it the definitive Avengers cartoon. I certainly do. But here we have him in the package. All right, but we're going to pull him out. I love the art on here. I forget the name of this artist, but he is very, very talented, and I always pick up the comics that I see this guy. If you know in the comments, just remind me here who that artist is that they pulled that piece from. But he's got a couple effects, and we're just going to get him open. So pull on this here. Ugh, there's the leg. I get this kind of set up over here in the corner. That should be fine. And yeah, so we have our paperless package, or our plasticless package. And let's unseal him from his harness here. I kind of like this. This is a decent scrap bit of cardboard. I can maybe think of using this for some kind of, I really have no idea. I don't know, some kind of art project. But I mean, in a way, like, you can maybe use this as like a nice, some kind of backdrop. It's kind of cool, I guess, right? But for now, we're just going to stick that over there. And here he is in this little, easily, this is the painful part, or the new painful part. Actually isn't so painful when we have the plastic, which we'll get to later with Madam Hydra. But yeah, let's get rid of that. This we don't need. And here we have Baron Strucker. So let's get a little zoom in on that guy. And here we have the Baron in all his menacing might. Definitely, some reused pieces here. This is one of the solid body types that they've come out with, or bucks, as people have coined. But I definitely think that this is perfect fit for him. And I mean, as far as this body type goes, I think I've seen it on the Captain Marvel body, the original Captain Marvel. And yeah, I mean, it goes pretty far, and I think you can get a lot of figurines out of this. And it's up to date enough that I think it's gonna fit. And another thing here is we got pinless joints on that, which it does actually look good. At first, I was kind of like, I didn't really care whether it was pinned or not. But now that I've gotten a few of these figures without the pinless joints, it really is nice to see just a smooth, like, here you can get the fabric in, and You know, the color's all nice. I just don't understand how they clip in there. I wonder, maybe, I guess this piece must have like some knobs on either side so that it just pokes in there. I wonder if you pulled, or if I used a hot water trick, I could just pop these joints off quickly. But in any case, this is his badass gauntlet here. I would say that would have been cool if this gauntlet section slipped off. Maybe it does actually. Let's just see. Okay, here's the hand. Oh shit, this does totally slip off. Wow, that's badass. Okay, so you can take the gauntlet off, but unfortunately there isn't a hand here. So you can have this maybe displayed behind him, maybe on his on a pedestal or something. And I wonder, no, there isn't an extra hand, but I'm thinking that if I can maybe pull out the red skull, he does have extra hands with him, and that might fit the right color. But that's really cool. I'm glad. I didn't think that this actually slipped off like that. I thought it would have been a molded piece. So that's really cool. It gives us a little bit of options there. But I'll stick that back on here. This life-draining claw thing. Basically keeping him young, I think that's what it's meant to do. And we gotta zoom in here on this disgusting face. No, it's not totally disgusting, but it's definitely a little off-putting, I'll say that much. But look at this little monocle. Like, that's like intense, you know? Like, they didn't do that back in the day, where you'd get little tiny details, like a tiny little piece of glass, and then not only that, it's clear enough that you can still make out his eye. Like, that is incredible detail. They've just gotten so good with these head sculpts, just making them so expressive, and you know, I really dig just how expressive these villains tend to be. They do a really good job. I feel like a lot of the heroes tend to be just you know, kind of like stoic, blank face, which you kind of want for the heroes, but you'll get like big smiles, big grimaces, like crazy eyes, like all kinds of stuff for the villains, and they've been doing really good with that. And the logo here, super clean paint on that. Looks amazing. I like the synergy between all the colors with all of these Hydra figures. And yeah, this little neck piece thing is pretty neat. It's unique to him too, which looks nice. You get a couple unique pieces, unique head sculpt. This is a unique belt, so you do get a decent stuff with this figure here. But yeah, the Baron himself. There we go. We have these effects. You've definitely seen these effects before, but you know, I'm able to kind of double them up on this arm, basically giving it a majorly giant swirly effect or whatever. Haven't had it in this color too, so I mean, it's nice to get more and more of these, but hopefully we'll get some new effects sooner than later here. You know, they definitely have done these ones to death with fire effects, magic effects, but now we have this life draining effect. I don't really know if is this gauntlet like technology or is it magic based. Not super knowledgeable about Baron Strucker here, but I do know that he's a must-have to at least complete the Hydra heads, which is what I want to do. I have a stop-motion plan, which I'll kind of discuss a little bit more here later in the video, but yeah, we'll get to that in a second here. Alrighty, and next up we have Madam Hydra, or she goes by Viper in some senses, or sometimes the woman once known as Viper. Oh, there you go. The woman once known as Viper assumes command of Hydra, taking the title of Madam Hydra and turning the organization into her personal army. Very cool, and I dig this art here. I love this expression in this picture here, and I'm actually going to get into some gripes pretty much right off the bat, even before we get this out of the box. But I mean, I love this expression, and I also like the shininess of her costume. Like, it's a very looks like it's latex, shiny material. And then we look at the figure here. Unfortunately, we're dealing with that same smiling expression here. This like evil smile is not replicated here. She looks shocked almost for some reason, like just traumatized. I don't know why. And then also her costume, not shiny, not the shiny latex that looks so sick. She's got like this matte green. So what the heck? But in any case, we're gonna get this open. Got the old trusty safety knife here. Careful, kids at home, if you're, get your parents to handle these sharp objects for you, unless they're if they've already taught you to do it, just, you already know the knife safety. But yeah, another thing with this one, wasn't looking to get really any other from this wave. I did get the Maria Hill. That you guys, I don't know if I've already posted that yet or not. If I record these so far in advance now, but I got her, which she's badass. I guess this is Maria Hill and Quake, but great, really amazing figure, great new female buck. But yeah, I wasn't really interested in these other figures. Not really into the new Thor and Iron Man costumes. I haven't really been reading the new comics as much, and I'm not really sure I know much about Blue Marvel either. I don't really know his history. I considered U.S. Agent, but I ended up passing him. And then, well, who the fuck's gonna get Speedball, anyways? Okay, but yeah, in any case, yeah, here's a cool Hydra logo on the top, and we're just gonna open this now. Stick that over there so we can be in awe of the beautiful art here that they really didn't recreate here. No, they did in some point, but let's get through the painful part. Stick that back there. Okay, first impression. I mean, definitely seen this female body type before. It's nothing new per se here. I mean, crazy how in the same pack that they have this brand new body type, and around the same time that they're introducing like the double jointed female arms and stuff, that they just passed up on doing that. However, what I will say is you get a decent bend out of these single joints. It's actually a little bit more than 90 degrees, and yeah, I'm starting to feel in this. I actually don't quite mind this, and these older female body types aren't too bad either. It's definitely still in a good era for the Legends line. And yeah, I dig this little holster piece here. It's a little bit dangly, shaky, but it's nice that it does move around. They did actually faithfully recreate this hairstyle, which I'm glad, and you can get a lot of mobility out of this. I actually kind of wish more of the female figures came with these kind of hairstyles where you can move the head around a lot more. Like, they tend to have just the ones that are just flat, like lying on the shoulders, basically completely hampering the the articulation of the head. But this here, you actually get quite a range, and it doesn't really get much in the way. But yeah, like I said, how great would it have been if she had this smiling, maniacal, evil expression instead of this "I've seen some shit." Like, no. No, like, I'm not scared of this expression. This, I mean, it makes me scared, but it does other things too, right? But it's just pretty wild that they wouldn't do that. But here's another. I'll give another props to them. They did actually sculpt this sleeve on here, which that's actually a nice touch. Painting is a little bit scuffed here on this section, unfortunately, on my copy of this figure, but it is what it is. I can't really do much about that. And okay, so we got some actually really dope Lugers here. These look nice. They actually went through the effort to do looks like a snake print on the gun. Like, that's quite a nice detail. I mean, you don't usually get that kind of thing, so I'll give them another props for that. And then I'll also say that the shiny gold Hydra logo, very, very clean on each side of the holster as well, with the little button. And that's great. That's great. I mean, even the buckle here. So there is like some care into this figure, but there's a few things that to me are just like obvious. Like, well, why wouldn't you do that? Like, why wouldn't you just give it the shiny costume and print this expression? These are little things. But another good thing here is that we actually get interchangeable hands. So we got a fisted hand to go with our other trigger finger, and then this particular hand actually rotates like that, which is really good for any character that holds a gun. Gets so much more expression out of them. So I'm really happy about that. Alrighty, and last but not least, we have the Hydra Supreme and Artem Zola 2-pack, which was a Walmart exclusive. I remember seeing these basically lining the Toys R Us. Wait, did I say Walmart or did I say Toys R Us exclusive? That's what it was, at least here in Canada. And yeah, basically these were just lining the shelves of Toys R Us. Pretty much shelf warmers, and I took that as wait and see when it goes on sale. And eventually I did see it on sale, so I picked it up. because actually long ago I did have myself the original Arnim Zola Bath Build-A-Figure with sort of the brighter, sharper orange colors and kind of like that more mellow face that he had, which great figure actually, but at the time I didn't think I was going to be collecting a Hydra, any Hydra characters. I mean, they didn't have that Red Skull announced, and I just didn't think I was going to be interested in getting that. But as time went on, I was able to get that Red Skull, and that was basically the seed where I was like, oh, I got to get all these Hydra figures now. So I had to kind of retroactively look for Arnim Zola. I couldn't really find his Build-A-Figure for a decent price. So I looked at this and I was like, you know what? I didn't really read this storyline with where Cap has been, I don't know, like brainwashed or alternate universe or whatever the hell. It was cosmic cubed into being a super Hydra villain. But I figured this would be an easy collect, and it wasn't hard to come across, and I could get it at a decent price, and then I get 2 figures for, you know, the price of what I would have spent on trying to get that original Bath. That I actually, like I said, I had it way back, so it cringes me to have gotten rid of it. But I'm sure there's a lot of collectors that feel that, where, you know, they have a figure or they pass up on a figure, and then, you know, years later they find themselves having to retroactively look and get it back again. So it kind of sucks. But I don't know what happened to this. I think it must have been my fault, this, you know, in the move. But in any case, I'm not an inbox collector. I just keep these on ice until I'm ready to shoot these videos. So not a big deal. But we have clandestine ally of Hydra, supreme leader Captain America reveals his true allegiances and joins forces with Arnim Zola to bring Hydra to a position of dominant world power. Spooky. Awesome. But this art on the back looks great. You know, very, very menacing. His face is pretty extreme. But we'll get into that in a sec here once I get him out of the package. For now, we're going to cut the plastic, or cut the tape, I mean. Cut that little tape on either side here. And we're going to get these guys open here. Assuming I can easily do that. Okay, put this away before I stab myself. Alrighty. I almost got this here. Yeah. Damn it. There we go. Okay. Pop this open. Slide it on out. Well, there we go. And we have this amazing backdrop here. Let's throw these figures aside so I can take just a brief look at this. I love this. I love it when you get nice little backdrops. I actually collect these from the figures whenever we get a really nice one. Back there. And we'll get back to the figures here. Alrighty, so I think we're going to start by pulling Arnim out. It's stuck in there. There we go. No, that wasn't so painful, was it? Stick that over there for now. And we'll get our first re-impressions of Arnim. I've had this figure in the past, like I mentioned. But, I mean, this is a slightly different version of him, different coloring. I will say I do miss those bright orange colors that the original one had. Of course, I always like to have the bright, vibrant colors for my collection, but this actually still looks pretty good. And, you know, it does conflict because, of course, like I said, I like the shiny as well, so we have a bit of a conflict in me here because I like shiny, but I also like bright, vibrant, so, but this'll do. The face here, I'll be honest, I do kind of miss the original face that they had. It was a little bit more just calm. I just feel like this is going to be hard for just having a regular scene. But the good part about this thing, from what I remember, is that you can actually, somehow this pops off and you can put in whatever face you want here. You can put a picture of yourself if you want. I think I remember seeing the guys from the Hasbro Marvel Legends team playing around with that, putting their own picture in. So what I think I might do is maybe print up the original, like a picture of that, and maybe slip that one in, or I could just pick any from any comic issue. So I might just look into that because for now, like I just think this is a little too wild for any regular calm scene. But yeah, and we got a different headpiece here, which didn't come with the original one. The original one was this little box over here, which I think we'll mess around with that in a second. But I mean, yeah, you get a full range here for what he is. Single jointed arms. This gauntlet thing kind of hampers the movement a little bit, but you know, he can grip shit. It's got this little tabard or whatever, doesn't really block too much. Looks a little bit celestial, this pattern, but no, this is a very, very decent figure, and he's gonna look good next to Red Skull and the rest of our Hydra elite. And here's his other accessories, his little square head box, which I kind of actually like this little square head box a little bit more. I think it has a little more personality to it, and a little more mobility as well. This is a little too Dalek looking to me, which I think this thing's going to just snap right off as well, the way it looks. It's kind of creepy, but I'm sure that's the point. It might make for a nice little set piece, you know, so I might use it for that. This here, same device that he came with for the Build-A-Figure, except it's colored a little differently. Pink buttons and stuff. I don't know what it's for, but I'm sure it activates some horrible evil experiment. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty decent. I think I'll probably be posing with this head, and yeah, I quite like this. I mean, it's exactly what I remember, of course, just a little bit slightly different color, but I think it'll fit in still quite nicely. Alrighty then, so I already preemptively pulled off the plastic here with my knife so we can get the painful part off the camera. There we go, and I'll just toss that over there. Never had a figure like this one before, and I know this might have been reused from some other alternate costumes from Cap, but you know, here we have an interesting character figure, I guess. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, like I said, I didn't really read that sort of era. I mean, if you guys in the comments ever checked it out, just let me know. Was it worth a read? You know, is it just a little bit off-putting? I know there was so much controversy surrounding it. People were so pissed off, but you know, everything goes back to normal, to the status quo, and they just wanted some shock value, I think, and tied in with the movies where he was pretending to be a Hydra member, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I mean, this is an okay figure, I guess. I mean, it has all the articulation you might want. I kind of like this ball joint articulation here. I wonder if they're going to reuse this kind of thing for something else, because I quite like how the mobility of that. You know, you get this rotating right here instead of getting the calf joint, I guess. That works pretty nicely. But I think it was what, an Iron Man Captain America fusion armor or something. That's what this little thing kind of represents. I don't know, but yeah, it's a decent figure here. It's a little bit, I mean, ratchety here on the arms, but I mean, it's the right build, and of course, I guess this is just evil Cap. I mean, it feels like these are gonna snap right out, I'll be honest. Like, his arms, you can kind of see inside of there. It's just kind of weird. I don't know, you can't see it on the camera here, but it's a little nerve-wracking. But yeah, let's check out that shield. Alrighty, well, unfortunately, we kind of get the same kind of clip thing mechanism that we've been getting for Cap shields for the longest time. Not a fan of this. I mean, this definitely snaps and gets warped easily. You know, I don't mind this peg actually as much. Because for one, yeah, it's nice that it can plug into the back of him, but also, if he does have an open, like, holding hand, you can slip it on there, and that actually gets a lot of movement, and then you have to worry about this snapping or anything. But unfortunately with him, he doesn't have any grabby hands, so I'm gonna have to snap it on, which not super excited, but yeah, I guess that's okay. And there we have Hydra Cap. He's looking okay. Decent figure. I mean, there's a lot of sculpt on it. I mean, definitely there's a lot of detail put into this costume, but it's just like, it's just funny when they go all out for something like this, where it's kind of like a throwaway character or a throwaway costume, but then they go through all the effort of making all this detail and stuff, and it's just kind of like, you know. But I'm sure I'll have some fun with this. I like the idea of being able to use this, not as just like whatever the continuity reason was for this costume, but maybe it can be like, if I do my own stories, I can make it like a clone of Cap that he has to fight, and that kind of thing might be a fun little side storyline that I might do. So, but anyway, case, he does look fucking cool. I mean, he has like a good, I mean, it's a good sculpt for sure, and it definitely looks like Cap. So, but yeah, let's go do a little comparison now. All right, and here we have all four figures lined up they do look really cool together, and I actually especially like how Madam Hydra and Baron Strucker's colors are very, very coordinated. You know, I will say, if it was that shinier one, it might not have matched up as well. I mean, I will say his green, it might not pick up quite as well on the camera, but his green is a little bit more of a rich green than hers, which hers is a lot more faded, matte, kind of mintish color green. But on camera here, it looks about the same. And yeah, I'm not going to complain too much about it because, I mean, they do look like they go together. They look like they're part of the same team. Over here, yeah, he definitely looks cool too with the gold. I do kind of find myself missing that orange color, that bright orange color a little bit here, but you know what? I'm still just happy to have the character, and it's still a comic version, and I think it'll still work. I just need the character.
Infinity at my fingertips.
Yes. Let me hold the
Fool, the power is mine to wield.
And here we have the Hydra heads assembled, looking very, very cool. The Red Skull is obviously the centerpiece of this set, and yeah, I mean, having them all together now, actually, I really feel that they're very, very complementary. I mean, of course, just having like a team of characters with like matching colors like this, I really think is it's nice. It's nice, and it's gonna look good on the shelf. You know, we do have these interchangeable hands. I will say this green hand is a little bit off from his green, so it's gonna be hard to, I guess, interchange these hands. I mean, maybe if I did two of those on there, it wouldn't look as weird if he had just two bright colored hands, but it'll definitely be different from the rest of his gloves. So, but something we can play around with still. I don't know how much I'll be posing him without the glove anyways. I mean, it's one of his main things that make him a unique character, a unique figure as well, so probably gonna stick that, keep that on anyways. And but I mean, look how cool this looks. The green so matches up. Even Zola's face here is starting to grow on me too, with the laughing face. Like, it does look really good, you know, next to these other characters. But yeah, we'll do a little bit more comparisons here. I got a few other Hydra characters I can introduce. This Crossbones is another sort of newish figure I just got, but I got him loose, so I didn't think that doing an unboxing video for him would be good, but I can include him here. And I know he doesn't usually come with this jacket here, or this equipment jacket, or bulletproof Hydra jacket, whatever it is, but yeah, I thought it would be a nice fit. It actually looks cool. It comes with a knife on the back too, and yeah, it kind of gives him a little bit more of that matching color that he was sort of missing to go along with these Hydra characters. Of course, comes from this figure here. It came from the Hydra Army Builder 2-pack, which fucking love that 2-pack. A really good one. I did an unboxing for that not too long ago too. But yeah, really great set. You get a lot of accessories and a lot of playability. If you did get a few of those packs, you could pretty much make at least 3 or 4 different Hydra type characters out of it. This one right here, I like to think, is sort of their sergeant, you know, a Hydra sergeant, or one of their you know, lower tier, but still with a little bit of power over these, you know, these grunt characters, these grunt Hydra members, which you know, it definitely looks cool, like having them all together like this. And yeah, the jacket, like, it just makes it so that Crossbones just blends in nicely. It just gives them a few more kind of badass accessories as well. I don't know if I've never seen anyone do this before, but I think it looks really nice, and you know, something that you can definitely mess around with. But yeah, I got all my Hydra figures assembled. It looks so cool, and I mean, these fists look nice too, because they're that crazy weird Hydra hail or whatever, hail Hydra thing. So it makes sense that she comes with those fists, another purpose for those. But yeah, this looks very cool, and there's just so much playability you can have with these Hydra members. I mean, what you have here is just essentially like Marvel's version of what, like the Cobra group or whatever from G.I. Joe. I feel like that's kind of where this was inspired. Hey, maybe Hydra was what inspired G.I. Joe too. I mean, Captain America does date back quite a long time. I'm not sure if it's further back than G.I. Joe. I know those were around for quite a long time as well, but this is very cool. I'm sure they're inspired by each other in a lot of ways. but I dig it. I dig that we get all these accessories with these some of these figures, and it's really building out a nice crew of these characters now. Yes, and we have the Red Skull here with Zola, his right hand, chief science officer, whatever. Of course, these characters are inseparable, and it's just really cool having them together now, because I know that it's just one of those characters that, you know, it's kind of like Frankenstein without Igor, you know? You need to have him, and it basically completes this set. Now I even have this great couple of army builders here, so obviously this one is from that 2-pack, and then this actually I managed to pick up. He was one of those Hasbro Pulse exclusive, single, easily boxed army building ones, I guess. I saw it at one of my local toy shops or whatever. I guess somebody sold them or traded them in, but it wasn't even open, so it was a totally brand new. And unopened. So I was like, you know what? I think I could do with at least 2 of these guys, and I can mess around and, you know, cheat shots in my stop motion and make it look like there's quite a few more of them. And I think this is a perfect collection here. I don't know, not sure if I would need any more of these Hydra agents. I'm not one of those guys that's looking to fill an entire DTOF case with whole rows of these guys. I mean, I've seen some cool displays where people have done that, but I just don't have the space for that. But this is a nice little crew, small, tight-knit team. You could see this being a great little stop-motion piece here.
Yes, and here we have the Fallen Sun. We have Captain America himself with the Red Skull. His buddy in this particular storyline, whatever. I think having this, Steve Rogers head from that new 20-year anniversary pack was, really it makes this figure, it actually seems so dope, because it really does feel like that's Captain America, that's what happened to him in this crazy timeline or whatever. But I think it's really cool, and I like the idea of doing some, I always like the counter of like the dark self, whenever the hero has to face like their evil, their evil twin, that kind of thing. So I think this is a really cool representation of that. And also check out this other friggin' cool background that came with I think that came with Madam Hydra. I didn't even notice it at first, so this thing is sick. So definitely got some nice backgrounds with this set. Really, really cool.